What is a simple sentence? Well, here's a definition. A simple sentence is a sentence that consists of one clause. Let's put up an example. Jack laughs. Okay, this is our subject, Jack, and this is our verb. This is a simple sentence because it's one clause. It has one subject and one verb. Let's make it a little bit more complicated. Jack laughs loudly. Well, it still only has one subject and a verb. So it's a simple sentence. Let's keep making it more complicated. Jack laughs loudly at my jokes. No, this is still a simple sentence. Jack laughs loudly at my funny jokes. Still a simple sentence. At my funny jokes and stories. No, it's still a simple sentence. If there's one subject with a verb, then it's a simple sentence. Let's put up a similar example. Jack and Jill laugh loudly at my funny jokes and stories. Well, this is our subject. It's actually called a compound subject because it's made up of two elements, but it's still a single subject. It's a single subject that governs one verb. This is a simple sentence. Let's keep making it more difficult. Jack and Jill laugh loudly and sometimes cry at my funny jokes and stories. So there are two verbs now, but there's still only one subject, even though it's a compound subject. So we have one subject governing two verbs. It's still one clause. It's still a simple sentence. When you have two or more verbs sharing the same subject, it's called a compound predicate. But it's still a simple sentence. Let's get rid of that. Let's look at an example that isn't a simple sentence. When I tell a joke, Jack laughs loudly. Well, here we have a subject with its verb. But look at this. We have another subject that's governing a different verb. Now we have two different clauses. And remember, a simple sentence is one that consists of one clause. This one has two clauses, so it can't be a simple sentence. This one is an independent clause because it could stand alone as a sentence. And this one is what we call a dependent clause because when I tell a joke could not stand alone as a sentence. So we have a dependent clause and an independent clause. This is not a simple sentence. This is actually called a complex sentence. And we have a page on the website and a video about complex sentences. Okay. Let's put up another example. Jack and his friend like walking and fishing but hate running and hunting. Okay, Jack and his friend. That is one subject. As we know, it's a compound subject because it's made of two elements. And there are two verbs. Our subject governs both verbs. This is an example of a simple sentence with a compound predicate. But look at this similar example. Jack and his friend like walking and fishing, but they hate running and hunting. This time we have two subjects and two verbs. The compound subject, Jack and his friend, governs the verb like, but the word they governs the word hate. So now we have two subjects. We have two clauses. These are actually two independent clauses. Both of them could stand alone as sentences. This is what we call a compound sentence. And we have a whole page about compound sentences and a video on the website. Okay, let's go for a difficult example now. Look at this sentence. Wolves and European brown bears developed a fear of humans too late and became extinct in the British wilds and the forests and mountains of Europe in medieval times. That doesn't look like a simple sentence, but grammatically it is a simple sentence. Wolves and European brown bears is our compound subject. It is the subject of the verb developed. It is also the subject of the verb became. There are no more subjects and no more verbs in that sentence. It is a simple sentence. It is a sentence made up of one clause. So to summarize, a simple sentence is a sentence that consists of one clause. Here is an example about Venus. Venus is the second planet from the Sun. One subject, one verb, giving us one clause. Remember, it's an independent clause. But that's just one type of sentence. We also touched upon complex sentences. Here is an example again about Venus. A day on Venus lasts longer than a year on Venus because it rotates so slowly. Well, a day on Venus is our first subject. It is the subject of the verb lasts. But have a look, we have another subject, the word it. It is the subject of the verb rotates. So this has two clauses. Because it rotates so slowly, could not stand alone as a sentence. It is a dependent clause. This sentence consists of one independent clause and one dependent clause. That is an example of a complex sentence. And then we also spoke about compound sentences. Here is an example. Venus has 90 times the atmospheric pressure of Earth, and it spins clockwise on its axis. We have Venus, which is the subject of the verb has, and we have it, which is the subject of the verb spins. Both of those clauses could stand alone as sentences. In this sentence, there are two independent clauses. This is an example of a compound sentence. Okay, let's get rid of that. So let's finish on the definition. A simple sentence is a sentence that consists of one clause. And as we now know, that will be an independent clause. It may have a compound subject and it may have a compound predicate, meaning that the subject governs more than one verb. But as long as there is just one subject and one clause, it is a simple sentence. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out some of our other videos on grammarmonster.com.